Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for November 26th of 2025 is titled Globular Cluster M15 Deep Field. So what do we see here? Well, here we see a globular cluster, and in fact the globular cluster known by its catalog designation of M15. Now, a globular cluster is essentially a big ball of stars and are some of the earliest remnants of our galaxy. They are tightly bound together. In fact, there's enough stars there that they are held together and that these can survive for billions of years. And they date back to the very early origins of our galaxy. And in fact, there are 150 or so that surround our galaxy in a big spherical halo, telling us that at one point in the past, our galaxy was much more spherical and not the flattened disk that we see today. Now, within the globular cluster, the stars that are left are stars like the sun or smaller. And that's because all of the other stars will have evolved. They'll have gone through their lives. So many of the red giant stars we see here are stars like our own sun, but that formed a little earlier and have now gone through all of their energy, all of their hydrogen in their cores, and have evolved into red giant stars. So in a globular cluster, you would not see the very massive hot stars that we're used to seeing in our own sky. Now, around this, we see a lot of detailed images, and that's because this is a deep field, a very long exposure, and in fact, multiple exposures put together, taking up 122 hours worth of observation. Now, that allows you to bring out a lot of faint detail that cannot otherwise be seen. And here we're seeing some of the dust and gas around the globular cluster that we normally would not see if we took just a shorter image of this. We would still see the globular cluster, but all of the red glow of hydrogen gas and the darker regions of dust would not be visible to us in those cases. They're very faint, and you might see little wisps of them in the brighter areas, but overall they would not be visible. And when we take a longer exposure like this, we can bring out that detail and see far more about what is present in this image, things that might otherwise go unnoticed. So while we're looking at the globular cluster here, we also, in this deep field image, we can see a lot of the areas around it that are part of our own galaxy, gas and dust in our own galaxy that happen to be located in the same direction on the sky as this more distant globular cluster. So that was our picture of the day for November 26th of 2025. It was titled Globular Cluster M15 Deep Field. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.